Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Stuart?
Doing pretty good. I'm glad that we're able to keep up with all the happenings in the Eurovision world. Guys, if you're
Hey.
joining us, of course you probably know already, but Slovenia has chosen their artist, and it's Anna Soklic with her song "Voda," a really powerful ballad. I think she's certainly going to be one of the voices to watch out for this year. Very quickly, let's say hello to Euroboy. He says it's his favorite to win. Go Slovenia. Olympic. This was such a great night. This usually means tomorrow will be crap in my life, but tonight, okay. Well, hopefully tomorrow isn't so bad. Nice to see you again, Oren. Jess, tell me your thoughts on Anna.
So Anna's song Voda or Voda, however you say it, was my favorite song from the whole EMA final lineup. So as you can tell, I'm very happy that she won. And I do think that the best song won as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought that her song and her performance was the one that kind of stood out the most from all of the performances tonight. So it's no surprise that she ended up winning. Hey, Hero Boy. Yeah, I think, it's kind of very magical and almost like ethereal, the song. And the staging, I feel somewhat matched the type of song, but I still feel like they could do a lot more with the staging, which I'm hoping they will. But I'm predicting good things for Anna in Rotterdam.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, a qualifier, maybe top 10, depending on what other songs we have coming in.
Hmm. Interesting. I don't know if I would reach that high so far, but I think certainly, like you mentioned, a lot of good things about it. Like she has an incredible voice. It did really stand out in terms of like I didn't get to see all the songs, but that was one that I was able to see, and it was also nice to see it again, just so that I didn't get confused with some of the other ones. But yeah, so that and then also the staging was really quite interesting. It kind of looked like a jungle or a
Hmm.
forest with the kind of spotty light on her at the beginning, and then it really kind of started to move a little bit as the song went on. And then the end, they had that light pyramid, which, especially considering that this was a ballad with a really powerful voice, it kind of gave me a little bit of Sweden 2014 vibes with Undo. Did
Oh,
you did
yeah.
you get that a little bit?
I didn't, but I'll watch it back and because now I'm interested.
Just that one visual part, because it was
Uh-huh.
like one of the central parts of that stage was her being surrounded in like a pyramid of light. Um, but in this case, yeah, there's obviously a lot more going on. Seriously, photo will be remixed. Struggling to find the perfect song. I want to hear all these remixes that you're talking about
Yeah.
because you're definitely piquing our interest, and I'm curious. Tell us what your style is. What kind of music are you turning these songs into? Um, Naila. I'm really not sure how to say your name. Do you know how to pronounce this, Jess?
I have no idea how to pronounce Greek.
Okay.
That's wrong.
Says it's a good
Yeah.
choice. Not the first, but that's good. So Jerry, it was Anna Soklic with her song Voda or Voda. It's the word that she says at a really stretched, long, kind of soaring style in the chorus. Euroboy 4 is saying she has a stunning voice in a very powerful ballad, already in my favorites. You know, what I found really interesting about this was that when it came down to the final two, it was two ballads, but it was two very
Mm.
different styles. What did you think about Lena's song? It was A Man Like You. How did you feel about that one?
Yeah. So I quite liked Lena's song, and I thought compared to Voda, it sounded more current and more sort of what you would hear in the charts today, similar to maybe like Ariana Grande, for example. It wasn't my favorite song as such, but I do think that there was definitely something about the song. It had, the foundations were there for a good song. It just, in my opinion, wasn't quite good enough, which is a
Hmm.
shame because Lean is such a fantastic singer. And also she performed at Junior Eurovision for Slovenia and was amazing back then. So I was kind of expecting a better song from her. But yeah, I liked the song, loved what she was wearing. I want that two-piece suit. But I really hope she comes back because I think she'd make a great representative for Eurovision.
Mhm. Really quickly, Naya, Denmark is not this week. Denmark is in 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. I think they're one of the last ones.
Mm.
Portugal begins this weekend. They have their first
Yeah,
semifinal tonight. I don't know if it's already started, but I know it will be starting soon.
yeah. It doesn't finish
Um,
till 1 a.m. Central European time.
yeah, which is not a problem for me all the way over here in Canada. Um, and yeah, I agree with what you said. It certainly was something. It was a more modern ballad. Um, and I think it had a lot of character. If I had to choose between the two, I probably would have gone with Lena's song if it was up to me.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I think that this is a good choice in terms of the style. We do have a few ballads already chosen for Eurovision,
Mm.
so hopefully it won't get unfairly compared to one of them, or get
Yeah.
hopefully it won't be stuck in a bad spot in the running order. Um, but the sky's the limit. Um, T Pony or T1 Pony is from Slovenia.
Wow.
Um, White Eagle says Slovenia will do best if they send Raven. Oh yes. So
Yeah.
I haven't watched the selection live when she has been one of the artists, but I know that she's tried a number of times. Jess, do you remember any of Raven's songs?
I do. Yeah, I remember I watched EMA last year live, and Raven, I think, finished in second place with a song called Chaos or
Hmm.
like Chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was an interesting song,
Hmm.
and it would be good to see her Eurovision.
One thing I want to talk about too is the production of this show,
Mm.
because some people might have missed it. I literally looked away at the wrong moment to see what happened, but there was this whole thing in the opening sequence where the host was singing Arcade, and then all of a sudden the piano, the support of the piano broke, and he looked to have injured himself at the time. But then he kept leaving and coming back, and his scar was moving around, or it was changing
Mm.
shape. And then, yeah, so they did have me fooled for a little bit, but there were moments where I was kind of like, that's a little odd.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of presuming that maybe he's kind of like a presenter slash comedian, maybe, and it was then maybe that's just Slovenian humor.
Yeah.
But it was confusing and strange, but entertaining. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Now, do you know, was this the same guy that used to read out the points for Slovenia like years back in the 2000s?
See, I was wondering the same thing, and I couldn't remember if it was or not. So I'm gonna have to. If anyone knows in the comments, let us know.
Yes, our Slovenian friend T1 Pony should let us know if that's the case. But also another thing too is that I know that at this selection in particular in the past they've kind of struggled with the sound mixing, but tonight it sounded to
Hmm.
be pretty good overall. Would you agree with me?
Oh yeah, I think tonight was probably the best sound in many years they've had in EMA, which
Hmm.
is obviously a good sign.
Hmm. Especially since the winning song is one that is really orchestral, so you definitely
Yeah.
want that to blend in nicely with the voice. You don't want it to sound like the voice is kind of sticking out over top the
Mm.
music. Olympic is saying Clemen Slakonia is a comedian.
Mm.
Yes, so that much we know. At
Yeah.
least we know now. Especially if anybody saw the little homage to previous Slovenian entries. I'm sure that you saw
Oh,
that, Jess, right?
I absolutely loved that. I was singing along to every one of them.
Mm. As
Yeah.
soon as I learned, or like once I figured out what it was going to be, I was really really eager to see what the recent songs would be like Lea
Oh yeah.
Sirk, him doing Valane, and of course from last year Zalen Gasper. uh, yeah, I mean, obviously he really kind of carried the show. He injected a lot of humor into the show. Probably not everybody's thing because it was a little jarring at the beginning, but that's just how some
Yeah.
people do it. Denis Lukic is Slovenian. He's really proud of this year's winner. Go Slovenia! Yeah, totally. Um, T1 Pony is saying he's the best. Sarah Halloran is in
Yeah,
the process of
please.
remixing Voda.
Can't wait to hear this remix.
And Ida Purtash says it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think overall it was a pretty enjoyable show. It's a bit difficult to balance this and Ukraine at the same time, but I certainly enjoyed everything that I found. And overall, like you enjoyed the show as well, right?
Oh yeah, it was a very like very well staged show. there was some good quality songs as well. It was entertaining.
Hmm.
It was a really enjoyable evening watching that.
Hmm. I have to give a particular shout out to the band Inmate with The Salt. It was like a really electrifying rock song performance that I quite liked. And a part of me wanted a song that's called The Salt to go through to Eurovision because I like you know the whole idea of being salty when like somebody's upset
Ah,
about I just thought it would be kind of funny if that was the case. But nonetheless, I'm really happy with Anna, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in Rotterdam, what gets changed from the performance, and
hmm.
do you think that this could possibly be translated, or do you think that they'll perform in Slovene?
Well, I'm hoping that they'll keep it in all Slovenian, or at least mostly Slovenian for Eurovision, because I think, translations don't always work and they don't always sound the best. And I think with a song like this, it just has this magical quality about it that wouldn't necessarily do well with English. So I'm hoping they keep it in Slovenian. Please. If anyone's
Mhm.
watching, Slovenian, please.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Slovenian is the way to go. And also for the last 2 years at least, unless I'm thinking wrong, all those entries have been in Slovenian because Falane and Sebi.
Oh,
So
yeah.
hopefully they keep going with that because
Yeah.
it is a really nice moment when out of the majority of English songs you get something in the native language. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. So once again, there's more to come for tonight because Portugal's semifinal one is happening. Their final is a few weeks away from now, but obviously I'm going to be watching that because the Portuguese entries are some of my favorites. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, remember to subscribe to Eurobox. I don't have the pillow that Andy has, but you don't need a pillow to remember to
Right.
subscribe.
I have an
um,
emoji pillow like Andy, but not a
oh, but
subscribe pillow.
but where is it? Where's the emoji pillow?
I actually bought this pillow for Andy.
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
forgetting to give it to him, so
Oh, okay.
it's
Well,
mine now.
too bad that he isn't in the chat because then he could get a little preview at his gift. Um, but nonetheless, also don't forget to reach out to us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our website is eurovox.net. We're constantly keeping our ear to the ground about what's happening in Eurovision, following all the national selections, all the internal selection announcements. I understand that there's been some developments on who we can expect for this week, possibly the UK, I believe. Is that something
Yeah,
that I heard? Okay,
I'm
so
excited.
we're going to be really, really curious to see if it lives up to the hype. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
that's all for us today, guys. So have a good evening, and we'll catch up with you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.